Meet Elizabeth Parker, an adventurous writer in her late 30s whose passion for uncovering life's mysteries is rivaled only by her zest for living. One fateful evening, a devastating car accident thrusts her into a haunting realm beyond life, forever altering her perspective. In the shadowy depths of this afterlife, Elizabeth unexpectedly encounters a notorious historical criminal, a figure cloaked in infamy and resonating with the dark echoes of human nature. What unfolds during this extraordinary encounter sets the stage for shocking revelations about the very essence of morality and the unsettling truths that lurk within the human spirit. Have you ever dared to explore the haunting truths lurking beyond life's greatest mysteries? If your curiosity is piqued, hit that like button and subscribe for the shocking insights ahead. What Elizabeth uncovers could shatter everything we believe about humanity. Are you ready for this journey? How could a notorious criminal unveil the deepest secrets of our existence? Stay tuned. You won't want to miss this. I remember the instant my car collided, a blur of metal and glass that shattered both my physical world and my sense of reality. It was a moment suspended in time where everything turned slow and chaotic, and then a strange calm washed over me. I felt the weight of my body lift, as if invisible hands were cradling my form and gently pulling me away from the wreckage. It was an out-of-body experience, one unlike anything I had ever imagined. As I drifted away from the chaos below, the transition into the afterlife unfolded before me in vivid strokes of surreal beauty. Colors vibrated with an intensity I had never seen on Earth, each hue pulsating with life, telling stories of compassion and connection beyond the boundaries of our physical existence. I felt enveloped in an all-consuming warmth, a radiant embrace that soothed my battered spirit. There was no pain, no sorrow, just a profound sense of relief, as if I had finally returned home after a long and treacherous journey. Floating in this ethereal space, I became aware of a realm that defied earthly logic, beckoning me deeper into the unknown. It was a paradox of freedom and vastness. Here the air shimmered, thick with possibilities I couldn't yet comprehend. It was as though I had been stripped of all my earthly burdens, the weight of the world lifted and replaced by an unfathomable warmth. I was a traveler in a dream, a mere whisper against the universe, teetering on the edge of awakening. In moments of chaos, we can find ourselves in the most profound of transformations. I began to understand that this otherworldly realm was not just an escape, but also a mirror reflecting the deepest truths of my existence. I could feel the echoes of thoughts and emotions reverberating around me, a tapestry woven with the tales of countless souls that had walked before me. Each whisper I encountered resonated with familiar struggles, fears, and hopes that transcended time and space. And yet, as I ventured deeper, questions began to surface, haunting me like shadows chasing the light. What awaited me in the surreal depths of the afterlife? The darkness beckoned, and with it came the flicker of dread about what revelations might lie in wait. The thrill of the journey was intoxicating, but so was the uncertainty. Little did I know, the encounter I was destined to have would unveil secrets that would challenge my understanding of humanity itself and the intrinsic nature of good and evil. As I drifted deeper into the shadows of that ethereal space, an unsettling chill wrapped around me like a cold shroud. Figures began to coalesce from the darkness, their forms weaving in and out of focus, whispering secrets that reverberated through the stillness. The air crackled with tension, and in that moment, my heart stopped as I beheld a face I recognized, a notorious criminal from the annals of history, infamous for his unspeakable atrocities. Panic surged within me, an instinctual wave of primal fear. It wasn't just his notoriety that terrified me. It was the way he stood there, exuding an electric blend of charm and malevolence. I felt as if I were caught between two worlds, paralyzed by confusion, as his presence loomed large in that surreal space. There was a magnetic pull to him, an allure that beckoned me closer even as I wanted to recoil. What would you feel if faced with pure evil in a realm beyond life? The very essence of this encounter unnerved me. It's one thing to read about such figures in books, but to stand before his soul, one that had danced dangerously on the line between life and death, was a reality I had never prepared for. The weight of his gaze bore down on me, and I could sense the depth of his history, the layers of his choices written into the air around us. This was no ordinary encounter. I could feel the air thickening, tight with unspoken stories and hidden truths. As I took a hesitant step closer, the tension shifted palpably, wrapping around us like a tightrope. For a moment, we stood in silence, our thoughts and emotions intertwining in an unyielding tapestry of despair and defiance. The darkness seemed to pulse, alive with the secrets that radiated from him, daring me to explore and understand. When our eyes finally locked, there was a flicker of recognition, not just of who he was, but of the very essence of failure, loss, and betrayal that plagued his life. He opened his mouth, ready to unveil tales from beyond, and I sensed I was teetering on the brink of a revelation. What shocking truths did this historical figure hold? I had to know, but there was a part of me that already understood I would never look at morality the same way again. The realization sent shivers down my spine. This was a moment that would unravel everything I thought I understood about good and evil, and I was standing at the threshold, trembling with anticipation. The silence was heavy, thick enough to cut. I could feel the tension hanging between us as we exchanged wary glances, each one loaded with unspoken words. His presence was electric, radiating defiance that seemed to fill the void. Unsure of how to break the ice, I was caught in a whirlwind of anxiety and anticipation. What dark insights lurked just beneath the surface of this notorious figure, poised before me in the afterlife? When he finally spoke, his voice broke through the tension like thunder on a stormy night, hypnotic, tinged with an unsettling charisma that sent shivers through my spine. "You think you understand good and evil, don't you?" he asked, leaning in as if sharing a forbidden secret. "But the truth you cling to is a mere shadow. Reality is messier, far more complicated." His bravado dripped with bitterness, and I could feel my perception of morality being challenged with each chilling word. As he recounted tales of his life, I was drawn into a world where morality was a fragile construct, easily twisted by circumstances. "In the end, it's all about survival," he insisted, and I could hear the faint echo of reason in his madness. It was terrifying to confront, a palpable reflection of our own hidden fears and desires. His life might have been marked by unspeakable horrors, yet standing before me was a man who saw the world not in black and white, but in a myriad of grays, shades that merged and blurred the line between right and wrong. Every glance shared between us carried the weight of unspoken truths, and as we delved deeper into this dark exchange, I felt as though I was standing on the precipice of an abyss. The questions morphed into a haunting echo in my mind. What would I discover about myself as I navigated this moral labyrinth? And yet, amidst the dread inspired by his revelations, something else emerged, a sense of clarity. He articulated the fear that dwells in every one of us, that unacknowledged darkness that fuels our actions. Under pressure, even the noblest can falter. His words struck like a cold wind, cutting through my preconceived notions. Could it be that in the dance of life, the line between virtue and vice was far less defined than I had ever thought? I felt as if the light around us flickered, subtly shifting with each layer we peeled back. With every shared revelation, the blurred lines of morality and the complexities of human nature beckoned me to dive deeper into this unsettling conversation. What moral challenges would this exchange reveal? The answer lingered tantalizingly in the air, leaving me both terrified and eager for more. As their conversation unfolded in the dim, ethereal space, the narrator found themselves grappling with unsettling insights about human nature. The notorious figure before them, a personification of chaos and irreversible choices, articulated a chilling truth. There exists an inherent darkness within us all. It was as if he held up a mirror, reflecting their deepest fears, unspoken desires, and the potential each of us has for harm. The weight of his words pressed against them, igniting something primal within, a mix of fear and intrigue. He described decisions made in desperation, the moments where morality bends and contorts under the pressure of survival. Those vivid images he conjured, a child's laughter overshadowed by the echo of a gunshot, a loving gaze that turns cold in the face of betrayal, painted a complex tapestry of existence. The narrator realized how fragile the lines we trace between good and evil can be, easily smudged by our choices and circumstances. This thought rattled them. How quickly our principles could dissolve when faced with life's rawest truths. Within us lies a battle between light and dark. Who can say which side truly defines us? His question hung in the air, heavy with implications. What did it mean to struggle with such a duality? They felt the ground shift beneath them as they considered that maybe each of us contains the capacity for both destruction and compassion. The encounters they had in their own life started to replay in their mind. Responsibilities they had evaded, shadows of selfishness that had crept in unnoticed. The realization struck them. Our humanity is woven through both our benevolence and our failings. As he continued, the narrator listened intently, barely breathing. They sensed they were peeling back layers of understanding, and the deeper they went, the more profound the revelations became. It terrified them to confront this duality not just in him, but within themselves. What if our so-called moral compass was merely a compass pointing towards survival, regardless of the ethical implications? In moments of desperation, how often do we sacrifice our values for self-preservation? They felt exposed, standing on the precipice of unsettling truths. Prepared to confront the blurred lines of morality as I was shown the true nature of humanity, he warned, leaning in closer, his dark eyes piercing through the veil of their composed facade. Something told the narrator that the journey ahead would challenge everything they believed about right and wrong. What disturbing truths about ourselves would this conversation uncover? The thrill of the unknown gripped them, compelling them to delve deeper into the dark recesses of the human psyche. The encounter shifted something deep within them, a seismic change reverberating through their very core. They had always viewed morality as this rigid construct, a set of rules either to be obeyed or defied. But in that moment, standing before the embodiment of humanity's darker side, they began to see morality not as black and white, but as a gradient, filled with shades of gray and complexities that they had been blind to. Each choice and consequence swirled through their mind like a tempest, illuminating the depths of ethical dilemmas they had wrestled with throughout their life. They remembered nights spent in turmoil, wondering if their decisions reflected who they truly were, or if they were merely reactions to the chaos around them. The reality dawned on them, fierce and unyielding. Our choices, no matter how seemingly insignificant, shape us profoundly. Reflecting on the criminal they had encountered, they felt the weight of realization settle over them. Is morality truly black and white, or is it a complex tapestry of our choices? This question hung in the air like a whispered challenge, demanding introspection. As they grappled with this notion, another truth emerged from the shadows of their mind. Redemption is not a straight path. It's littered with the remnants of our past decisions, tangled and obscured in the dense forest of our experiences. The infamous figure they had met, with his chilling tales of regret and pain, was not simply a villain. He was a reflection of every struggle, every flaw, every misstep we all grapple with in this journey of life. Each revelation he shared pierced through their perception, forever transforming how they viewed the struggle of humanity. They came to understand that embracing the complexities of our moral fabric does not mean condoning wrongdoing, but rather acknowledging the motivations behind those choices, the fears, desires, and regrets that bind us. The encounter left them shaken, but ultimately, it ignited a fire within them to dig deeper and confront their own shadows. This understanding marked a pivotal moment in their life, one that reshaped not only how they viewed the world around them, but also how they perceived their own existence within it. This journey, they realized, was not about condemning others, but a pathway paved with compassion and a deep understanding of our shared humanity. It allowed them to see that everyone, including the most notorious among us, is wrestling with their demons. And just like them, we all carry the potential for both darkness and light as we navigate this intricate dance of life. As they emerged from darkness into light, they were not just returning, they were awakening to a new reality. It felt as though they had been reborn, each breath a testament to their survival and a reminder of the lessons etched deep within them during that otherworldly experience. Seeking answers about morality and the human condition, they had ventured into the realm beyond, where they encountered a world laden with shadows and secrets. This journey reshaped their understanding, opening their heart and mind to the interplay of good and evil nestled within us all. Meeting that notorious criminal in the afterlife was a turning point that revealed profound truths about our nature. There, they could feel the weight of the choices they had made in life and their ripples across their soul. Their understanding expanded, encompassing not just the horror of his actions, but the desperate human need for redemption that drove him. They reflected deeply on their own life, realizing how often we shy away from the darker aspects of ourselves, subsuming them under societal norms or personal denial. What shadows within ourselves are we choosing to ignore? This question resonates loudly within them now, compelling them to face the parts of themselves they've long kept hidden. We live in a society that often praises light but shuns the dark, forgetting that those shadows are not merely to be feared. Instead, they are fragments of our identities demanding acknowledgement. The journey to understanding is not just about seeking the light, but also embracing our own shadows. It means recognizing that to truly grow, we must confront the darker recesses of our souls and come to terms with what they can teach us. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button. Let's share these vital lessons and create a discussion around our shared human experience. Together, we can explore the complexities of our existence and the intricate web of morality that binds us, inviting more truths into our collective consciousness. What revelations have you had about your own nature? Let's explore this in the comments below. I want to hear your stories, your struggles, and your epiphanies. These conversations can foster a community united in the quest for understanding and compassion, illuminating the paths we tread together. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Until next time, embrace the complexities of life, and let's continue to learn together. Your presence here is valued, and I hope our time together inspires you to seek out the light and shadows within, knowing that both contribute uniquely to your growth and understanding.